And then at the end of this meeting, they decide to go to Colony 5, and she coughs violently.
And goes into quarantine.
Yeah,
Husband's trying to be like, "No, no, no, she's fine." She is not fine.
no, no.
She's got a
Oh, she
cold.
has a hack attack. Yeah. If
Yeah,
I
she's
was
having a
Mace, I
hard
would have
time.
shot her there. She would have like a bang.
And this is why you're not in charge of anything.
I would have been screaming and then just shooting.
Can I tell you at my colony, you would not have a gun.
Yeah, it'd be very wise not to give me a Colony.
No. I'd also probably put you in, like, oven mitts and, like, duct tape those around your wrists and not let you touch anything. But that's just me.
Yeah.
Lights, camera, and action. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? We're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Let's get ready to join Anna and Jimmy as they go back and watch those movies you remember being oh so awesomely good. Horror movies that scared. Comedy movies that dared. And action movies so preposterously ludicrous that they defied the laws of common sense. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Today we are going to look at a movie from 2013 called The Colony. All right, let's take a look at the poster. It's all right.
I mean, Bill Paxton, Laurence Fishburne, Kevin Zegers,
Yeah, got
and
some
then
snow and
Frozen Wasteland
frozen wasteland. Yeah,
with a
pretty much.
bridge.
Yeah.
The bridge means a lot. It's a
It's
very
not.
important bridge.
Yeah, and it's not that exciting, but yeah, it reminds me of a very well done, or remember straight to videos,
Yes.
and you're like, oh, what the hell did this come out? I didn't, and yeah, it's like, oh, look, it has Laurence Fishburne and Bill Paxton and some guy I don't know, but he looks familiar.
He was in Mortal Instruments. I
Air
forget
Bud.
Air Bud.
Yeah.
Canadian actor, apparently from Woodstock, Ontario. What? There were actually quite a few Canadian actors in this where I was like, "Oh, hey, I recognize you." Yeah, no, he did some, like, kinda younger stuff, and then he hasn't really been he was super popular for a little bit, and then he just kinda, like, faded a little bit, but I think he's been working steady.
And it came in at a very nice 1 hour and 35 minutes.
Mhm.
It's rated R for gore and horror. Let's take a look at The Colony. See, I'm trying to do this where I'm just as surprised as you are.
I appreciate it.
All right, so here are some taglines. Will Earth wait for us?
The fuck?
Oh, wait. It's a different movie. Called The Colony, but it's a different movie.
I was gonna say, I was like, "That makes no sense."
When the world changes, the rule of survival change with it.
Eh,
Mm, and I think that's it.
I don't think the rules of survival should change.
No.
Just be a decent human being.
Yeah, good luck. Good cast. I love Bill Paxton. I love
Yep,
Laurence Fishburne.
yep.
They're always solid. And actually, even the supporting cat, like him and her, were pretty good. A couple of the other
You
survivalists.
mean Kai, played by Charlotte Sullivan?
Yeah, yeah,
She
they
was
were
on Rookie Blue,
okay.
which
Yeah,
is a really fun TV
and
show.
she's the only post-apocalyptic survivalist that actually has makeup and has her hair done, and looks
Well,
pretty
of
good.
course, because she's Sam's girlfriend.
I remember watching. There was a thing where The Walking Dead, where they used to be all gruff and dirty and stuff,
Yep,
and now they said the new one with what is his name, Daryl Dixon,
yep,
and what's her name showed up in the show, and she's got like
yeah.
a nice leather jacket, some earrings, her hair is done. Like Jesus.
Well, when you have the time to scavenge,
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, you behead a couple zombies, you realize they're wearing some really cute earrings.
Yeah.
You run that leather jacket through a creek or a river,
Yeah.
and it's like brand new.
Spa day. All right, let's take a look at our trailer reaction. This was last week. We watched the trailer to end our show. Next week, we are watching 2013's The Colony. It's not a well known movie.
Yeah, no.
I remember liking it.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't remember that much of the movie. I remember liking it,
Yeah.
but I don't remember
But I
that
haven't
much.
seen it since 2013 or whenever I watched
Same.
2014. Yeah.
I
So I'm
probably would have
wondering
seen it in
why.
2015.
Yeah.
Like it would have been on TV.
All right. Let's share this. So that was a Mighty Ducks 1992. Next week, we are watching The Colony from 2013 with Laurence Fishburne, who we just watched Assault on Precinct 13,
Mm-hmm.
and Bill Paxton, who I really miss. He made some
Me
really
too.
awesome movies.
He was so good.
All right. So
The world froze a long time ago. So long ago that I can't remember the warmth of the sun. The planet grew hotter as our fuel was burned. One day, it started to snow, and it never stopped. When the food ran out, most of the people in the world died. But not the people in this place.
2 hours ago, we received a distress signal from Colony 5. I think they're worth checking up on.
We need to take care of our own, Briggs. They just put the whole colony at risk.
That's really not your decision to make. We're sending a team, and I'm leading it. Welcome to Colony 5.
What happened here?
We're from Colony 7. Came to help.
Are they gone?
Who? Is anyone else alive?
Define their life. My God. They slaughtered everybody for food.
It's the hunger. Just drove them mad. There's nothing human left.
And they're coming here. And it'll kill us.
You led them straight to us.
I do remember this.
Ooh, yes. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I don't remember, but yeah, I remember a little bit more than I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trailer's good.
Trailer's great.
Post-apocalyptic. I love it in the snow. If you could do a movie in
yeah.
the snow, because it's so much harder, but it's so much bleaker.
Yes, 100%. I think
Like,
that's why 30 Days of Night has
yeah,
such a like almost desperate vibe to it.
the thing, the
Yes.
thing, anything. Yeah, anything in the snow. It just seems more. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like it.
I think I'm really gonna like it. I
Yeah.
remember really liking it. And now that I've seen it was when I saw Kevin Zegers, I was like, "Oh, right, he's in this too." And I was then like a lot of the movie came flashing back to me and I was like, "Right, I remember this." So that's fantastic. I'm glad I've seen this before. I always get so worried when I'm like, I remember watching it, but I don't remember that much of the movie.
All right, that was our trailer watch. Your initial thoughts of The Colony from 2013.
I liked it. I mean, was it cinematic genius? No. No, it wasn't.
Nope, it was
Um,
not.
was it engaging enough that I wasn't bored through the entire thing? Yeah, it was. There was only I only checked the time once because it felt really long. It wasn't actually that long, but the first half felt a little long. And I was like, I was expecting more like shooting, fighting, and blowing up. And then the shooting, fighting, and blowing up showed up. So I was like, oh, okay, here it is. But I mean, the first half was still enjoyable. So I mean, I liked it. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I liked it too. It wasn't great.
Mm,
Again, it was very serviceable. It's like it knew what it was, what it had
mm-hmm.
available to it, and it used it properly. And it wasn't anything more. It wasn't anything less. This, like I said, this was one of those. If you went to Blockbuster, and this was one of those straight to video movies, but
100%.
sometimes you got a really good one and you were pleasantly surprised. This was that movie.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, first, let's take a look at. I'm going to share here. Because I never looked at any of this. All right. It's not even on here. Oh, there it is. Okay, it had a budget of 16 million. I did look that up. Oh God, it made
Oh
$557,000.
my God.
It should have went straight to video.
It did go straight to video. Domestic has no box
Nothing.
office, just
Nothing.
international.
Wow.
Oh, that hurts my heart.
Yeah, it's
It hurts my heart for them. Let's be real.
Yeah. Like it opened up only in 6 markets. Yeah, it was a straight to video movie.
Wow.
So there you go, a straight to video movie. And it was a good one. It was one of those ones where if you got it, it was always a gamble.
I mean, yeah. I kind of
But
like the gamble though.
yeah.
That was always fun for me.
Okay, I'll share this so you'll see it the same time I do. Let's get rid of you. I know the other one kind of flowed a little bit better, but I do like not knowing. I don't see this movie being a critical darling.
No. No, my friends.
There we go. And with 34 reviews, it comes in at 18%.
Yar.
And with just over 5,000 reviews from movie watchers, it comes in at 23%.
Yep. I mean, not surprising.
No, it's a very, I don't want to say TV movie, but it's
No, but it definitely feels like a very high budget TV movie.
yes.
And
All
I'm
right.
okay with that. I love me a good TV movie. So
Are you on Rotten Tomatoes?
I am.
Okay, I'll start with the good. If you want to
Okay.
find a bad, it should be easier for me because it's not a lot. While it certainly never transcends its B-movie trappings, a valiant attempt by its 2 lead performers helped distract from some of the larger faults and obvious use of distracting CGI. Nicholas Bell, ioncinema.com. And I agree, yeah, some of the CGI was very well done.
Yeah, and some of it
not so much.
Yeah. And directly under Nicholas is actually, I think, a very accurate negative review from Jenny Kermode from I for Film. It says, rather than watching tough survivors taking on a deadly foe, we are watching something more akin to a low-achieving mouse trying to fight off a gang of militant carpet beetles, which is accurate, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, there are very few people who are actually, like, properly most of these people have just been living underground
Yeah.
for, like, 15 years.
Collection of disparate genre parts that are presented with a noted lack of snark or irony. Scott Weinberg, Fear Net.
Dustin Putman from thefilmfile.com says a pretty standard post-apocalyptic thriller, economical but unsure of what it wants to be. And I kind of get that too.
Small-scale science fiction horror story full of big, troubling ideas about what a new dark age might look like. Marianne Johansson, Flick Philosopher.
And Maitland McDonough from Film Journal International says formulaic post-apocalyptic thriller. When you don't especially care who lives and who dies, all the skull-crunching action doesn't amount to a hill of beans.
Okay.
Valid.
And yeah. It's decently acted, delivers some well executed jolts, doesn't insult the viewer's intelligence, and is mercifully free of ironic distance. Ernest Hardy, Village Voice. And I'm done. So if you want to do a couple, if you see some that are,
I'm gonna
I've
read
got
this
no
one
more.
just because it's slightly like from the Philadelphia Inquirer. Tear Dad Derek Shani. This one's just funny, so I'm sharing it. Charlotte Sullivan looks really, really cute in blonde dreadlocks, but she can't save the movie, nor can her impressive co-stars Bill Paxton, Kevin Zegers, and Laurence Fishburne.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can see why people didn't like this movie.
I can see why too.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be real.
like I'm thinking, like if you're like Mad Max, what's that one? Doomsday, the
Yeah.
England one. Yeah, it's harkened to those, just on a smaller scale, much smaller scale. All right, IMDb, the voice of reason. Where'd you go? There you are. 48,000 ratings, comes in at 5.3. Yeah,
That's
no,
actually not bad.
yeah,
That's not bad.
no, that's not bad. If you want to start with 10,
I like this one. Exactly what I wanted, and then a little bit more. The inconvenient, the inconvenient ent comedian. This is so weird. The inconvenient comedian. That's it. Oh, jeez. I was having trouble reading that.
yeah. Here's a 9 out of 10. Not that bad as one of horror movies. Human is food.
8 out of 10. Actually a 7.5 out of 10, but I'll give it an 8 since it's a B movie done well.
Here's a 7 out of 10 from Sitterite. Probably realistic because people are naturally stupid. It's not wrong.
No. Here's a 6 out of 10. From Simon K101. Slightly underrated, but not much.
All right.
that was
5
funny.
out of 10. This one's from Denault 10. Promised a lot, delivered little. 5 out of 10.
4 out of 10 from Jason Bulldog. Slow to start, predictable, horrible ending.
Here's Noman Meltdown. So many glaring why's. 3 out of 10.
Here's a 2 out of 10 from Positive B. Cliche, and what do you know? Another cliche.
I don't
Oh
know.
Lord.
Halfway through it, I actually started chatting with my girlfriend. Ruben Lambolgan, 1 out of 10.
That's terrible.
And then there was another one underneath that was kind of funny. Like, oh no, it's COVID. So, okay. So, yeah, that is the movie, and we kind of liked it. So, let's get ready to go through it. I will play a thing here. Do.
You heard them. Movie time. Let's all go to the lobby and get ourselves a treat, and then watch a classic kick-ass movie from whenever the one we're about to watch was made.
All right. So, The Colony, 2013. We both didn't mind it. So, let's go over this movie. Humans have built climate modification towers to control Earth's warming climate due to climate change. Ooh. The towers, however, inadvertently cause a new ice age. Of course they do. By 2045, the remnants of human civilization live in underground bunkers to escape the extreme cold. This is one of the things that I did like about this movie. It's not complex. It's very simple. There's
No.
nothing, and most of the time these type of movies are, we fucked up. That's pretty much how the Mad Max, the Carrier, it doesn't matter what it is. We did something and screwed up.
Ultimately, humanity is usually the one who pays the price.
Yeah. And usually the one who got us there.
True story.
Yeah. Their challenges are controlling disease and producing sufficient food. Two soldiers, Briggs, Laurence Fishburne, and Mason, Bill Paxton, are the leaders of one such bunker, Colony 7,
Mhm.
Briggs, Sam, Kevin Zegers,
Yep.
and Graydon, Atticus Dean Mitchell.
Yes.
Oh, right, the young kid. Okay, travel to nearby Colony
The
5. Okay.
teenager.
All right, before we travel to Colony 5, yeah, because it starts with Buddy working on something out there with, and then they're bringing out this guy who has, I guess, the common cold or the flu.
The flu.
Yeah,
The
and they're
flu.
like, "You gotta go."
Well, I think initially it was like, "I'm gonna shoot you." And he's like, "Nah, man, I've got a choice. I can either walk away
Or get shot.
or you can shoot me, but I get
What
to
would you
choose."
pick? If anyone's listening to this or watching later, what would you pick? If you watched the movie and you remember you had a chance, you had the flu, you gotta go. Would you take the bullet or would you walk out in the cold?
See, I'm a kid from the '80s. Imma walk it off.
I was gonna say I would probably, but then I'm like, I remember being having coats and shit on and going, it's
Yeah.
fucking cold. Like last week, it was fucking cold,
Last week, this week.
and this
Is
week was
it
cold.
ma, it's
Actually, yeah,
been
this
fucking
week,
cold. It's
yeah,
finally starting to warm up, finally.
it
And I
looked a
remember
lot colder there in the movie.
it did.
So
It did.
I might
But I
take
mean,
the
at the same
bullet.
time, I'd rather freeze to death, to be perfectly honest. You're not gonna shoot me because I have the flu. Also, putting me outside doesn't actually help anybody. Why is there not a quarantine building outside where they have a little wood fireplace or something, where they're away from everybody and they just drink broth? They
Yeah.
have chickens. You can make chicken broth. Anyways, I was a little annoyed by I'm like, okay, like I understand you have to control disease. Like I get that. You can't just let it run rampant because then you could wipe out the entire population of this colony. But at the same time, I'm like, walk or shoot, that seems extreme. Are you telling me that in the amount of time that you guys have been in this like outpost, nobody's had the thought, hey, we should just separate these people in a separate building?
Yeah.
Like, nobody's had that thought? But anyways, yeah, so they give him the option of walk or shoot.
Well, no, because Mason, Bill Paxton's character, doesn't give him the option. He just shoots him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I think is it Sam who's
Sam,
like, "You can't do that." So then he tells Briggs. Briggs is all like, "Man."
but Sam did
He's
over a voiceover did say the last flu killed 20 of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I understand the caution, but you're still supposed to give them the choice. You can't just going around killing all willy-nilly
Yeah.
because you never know, you may kill someone who has a skill that you need. Survival matters most. But anyways,
Well, and then Briggs wants everybody to come to a community meeting, and that's when he says they got an SOS from Colony 5. Then we meet that couple, and the guy, the husband is like, breathe slowly, do not cough.
he's trying to make it so that his wife is not showing her symptoms
Yeah.
because she's not feeling the greatest.
And then at the end of this meeting, they decide to go to Colony 5, and she coughs violently.
And goes into quarantine.
Yeah.
Husband's trying to be like, "No, no, no, she's fine." She is not fine.
No.
She's
No.
got a
Oh,
cold.
she has a hack attack. Yeah.
Yeah,
If I
she's
was
having a
Mason, I
hard
would have
time.
shot her there. She would have like bang.
And this is why you're not in charge of anything.
I would have been screaming and then just shooting.
Can I tell you, at my colony, you would not have a gun.
Yeah, it'd be very wise not to give me a colony.
No. I'd also probably put you in, like, oven mitts and, like, duct tape those around your wrists and not let you touch anything. But that's just me.
Yeah. I'd be like, that's right. You cough, you get shot. And if anyone said something, I'm like, hey, is that a sniffle I hear coming out of you? That's right. Shut your mouth.
So Sam snitches to Briggs about
Yeah.
Mason. Briggs, after he announces that the three of them, because Graydon, the like 17, 18-year-old, whatever he is, volunteers to go with them. His parents are like, no, take someone else. And Briggs is all like, I'm sure you'll do fine. He puts Kai in charge, Sam's girlfriend, who's also in charge of the seeds, which
Yes.
is incredibly important
Yeah.
because otherwise, without food, you die. So
And they have a problem with the rabbits. The rabbits aren't doing it.
they're
Making more
not
rabbits.
they're not doing it,
Too
and
cold.
the litters are dying, so they're coming out stillborn. And Sam notices, and he says, well, they're having the same problem we're having. They need
Yeah.
protein. And I'm
Yeah.
like I understand it's super freezing outside, But does nobody know how to build a shelter that has insulation? I know there's not a lot of materials available, and I'm not saying, but I'm like, there were outbuildings, and I would
Well,
have
they
planned this
walk through a
colony very
city.
differently. Yeah,
I'm sure
there
you could grab a couple things.
right?
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm sure there's a Home Depot in that city that still has wood left over.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd
Build
be the
yourself a
first place I
greenhouse.
go after apocalypse.
Yeah, build yourself a
That and
greenhouse.
Walmart.
Um, Words. Get the snacks. So anyways, they leave Kai in charge. The three of them leave, and they head off to Colony 5.
Yes.
Who they've tried to raise on the radio, and they cannot contact them.
No.
Nobody's responding.
So upon arrival, they find Colony 5 covered in blood. They eventually reach a locked door, which Sam picks open because they hear knocking.
Hmm.
Inside, they find Leland. Is this a guy from Supernatural? Who
Yes,
played
it
Death?
is.
Okay, I thought he
Also,
looked familiar.
funnily enough, when I was grocery shopping last week,
Oh yeah,
I
you
was
told me that.
I was walking around the store, saw him there, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And then I was right behind him when he was cashing out,
Oh,
and
you
I
should have
kept
told
going,
him.
"Yeah."
Oh, we didn't know we were doing that. You should have said we were. You're going to be watching this movie.
I did not know he was in it.
Oh yeah,
And then
right.
I saw him and I was like, "Death." He has a name, Julian Richings. I am very, very sorry, Mr. Richings. I swear I'm not crazy.
So Leland shows them a message they received from another group of people who actually fixed a weather machine and have caused the snow to thaw. I think it's like an 8-mile radius or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
So they have the land now, but they need
They
seeds.
need seeds. So and then basically what Leland says is that they went to a place where the thing was broadcast.
Mhm.
They couldn't find anything, but there were people there waiting or got their track and followed them back. And these were people
Yeah.
that are feral and they hunt people down to eat them.
I'd like to point out,
There's your protein.
a lot of protein.
You know,
I could not.
be telling people to stop looking at me.
Yeah, when he mentions the feral people and then they say, we came because we heard the knocking, and he's like, I wasn't knocking.
I wasn't the one. I wasn't knocking. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, nice. Good
Yeah.
move. Nice.
The group offers aid to anyone who asks that they bring seeds so they can be planted in the newly thawed permafrost soil. Leland shows them where the signal came from, but informs them that an expedition failed to find the source of the transmission. Moreover, the expedition tracks led a marauding group of cannibals back to Colony 5, and the killing ensued. Briggs, Sam, and Graydon try to force Leland to return with them, but he locks himself back in the room. Yeah, I get it. And
Well,
I
I
get
mean,
what's his name. He didn't even want to go down. He's like, shouldn't someone stay up here, just in case?
no, and that would have probably been a smart move.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when Leland's like, nah, I'm just gonna stay here, and then he like locks them out of the room. I was like, I mean, I kind of get it. These like crazy cannibals literally killed everybody
Yeah.
you lived with. I keep myself locked in a room too. Also, they gave
And
him a little bit of water and some like beef jerky. He's good.
yeah, he's good for a few more days. I also, when they were coming to Colony 5, they were crossing the bridge and they found a truck. I'm assuming the mother, daughter, and I'm guessing the father, he shot them and then shot himself. Were from Colony 5. I just assumed that.
I did not assume that.
Oh, because I thought if they would have noticed it the last time they crossed.
Well, no, because when they're in a car and nobody else in this movie drives
That's
anywhere.
true too. Oh, I thought maybe they were trying
So
to.
I thought
beat
they
the
were part
cold.
of the initial like, oh, it's really, really cold. Let's try and find somewhere. They couldn't make it, or they were being chased by feral cannibals. So yeah, I think it was shoot. I don't think he was shot though, the dad.
Oh, he might have just froze.
He
Yeah,
might have just
I don't remember
frozen.
seeing a bullet in him.
I didn't see a bullet wound.
No.
So I was like, oh, he froze protecting his family. But then you see that the family's been shot. And I was like, oh, that doesn't make sense. Oh, did he run out of bullets?
Yeah,
Then I
maybe.
felt really bad because I was like, man, it's gotta suck.
Yeah. Remind me of The Mist.
Yeah.
One of the most heartbreaking endings you could ever see. All right. The three then begin to explore Colony 5 and approach a room where a fire burns. Here they see a human chopping up members of Colony 5 while the others feast on human remains.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie did this well. The gore was pretty good. It
Yeah,
was bloody and gross.
it was almost excessive. And I know it should feel excessive, so I wasn't mad at it. Like, it was excessive but not exploitative. Like, it was very, like, "Okay, this is what you need to worry about." Like, this is the level that they're working on, and they will kill everybody and then
Mhm.
chop you up in pieces and literally gnaw on your leg.
Yeah.
It was gross. It was so
A-
gross.
As the three try to escape, Graydon is killed by the camels. He actually takes off first. He's like, "I'm out."
Well, Graydon is also the one who made a noise that alerted them to be the Briggs and Mason or
Yeah, the
Briggs
guy doing
Sam.
the chopping kind of stopped
Yeah,
and looked and turned
because
around.
Briggs and Sam were silent. Graydon makes this weird little sound in the back of his throat, kinda like
Yeah,
he's trying to hold back puke, which I get, and I understand. And that's when the chopping guy, like, stops,
yeah,
and you're like, "Oh, shit, kid." So then they all go running, and at some point, Graydon kind of falls behind,
yeah. It gets kind of lost.
and then the cannibal gets super stabby.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The cannibals.
The cannibals. Yeah, they go
Yeah, and I felt
mental.
so bad for the kid. I was like, he was I mean, true, nobody thought we're totally gonna run into feral, like, crazy cannibals.
No,
That wasn't on their
he
bingo
probably
card.
wouldn't have volunteered.
I know I wouldn't have.
I wouldn't even volunteer to go out in the cold. Ooh, no, thank you. And if
Oh,
I
it's
was there,
fantastic.
I would have thrown what's his name, Graydon, to the cannibals, and then ran.
Yes, you would have.
Yeah, go get him, Graydon, and then take off.
Well, it's funny because Sam and Briggs don't even realize he's not there until they start hearing the screaming, and they're like, "Oh, crap."
Yeah.
And then it
Yeah.
takes them forever to get back to him, and I was like, "How far did you guys run ahead of him?"
Briggs and Sam are able to make it up the ladder out of the colony and destroy the shaft with a stick of dynamite. If you remember, there's a little more to it. There's some fighting. It's fine. It's all very serviceable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will tell you right now, when Briggs is trying to knock that ladder down, I was starting to feel a little anxious.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yo, these fuckers are moving fast." Also, I was slightly unclear. Initially, I'm like, "Are these just crazy cannibals or are these vampires?"
Mm.
I could not pick, and then I went with crazy cannibals. But yeah, this is when it all starts to, because I think from the stabbing of Graydon, that's when the intensity kinda picks up, that's when the suspense kinda picks up, because you're like, the his kill was so violent and so manic
Yeah.
that you're like, "Well, shit, they're just gonna come out of nowhere and take you out,"
Yeah.
which I think is really great.
Yeah. There's no, it's like they're not zombies, but like there's still no talking to them. There's still nothing to, like,
There's
no
no reasoning,
reasoning. No.
there's nothing that they want except for just meat. They just wanna eat people.
So they get up the shaft and with a stick of dynamite, and the whole silo falls.
It really does.
Taking shelter in the abandoned helicopter, they wake up in the morning to find that the cannibals have managed to escape from the entombed Colony 5 and have tracked their footprints in the snow.
Mhm.
That was a cool scene. Yeah,
It
seeing like
was.
yeah, they're all off in the distance coming down the snow.
Yeah, you just see
And
this
then
wave of cannibals.
yeah, and Sam's looking and he's like the track, they're just following the tracks.
Yeah.
Um Briggs suggests that they lure the group over a decrepit bridge and then use dynamite. When the dynamite fuse goes out, Briggs rushes back to light it. I'm guessing this is they only had so much to pay Laurence Fishburne.
Can I tell you, look, I need to say, I actually wrote the note. No, Laurence Fishburne.
Yeah, the best actor and best character in the movie gone.
I was so mad they just blew him up. And I was
Yeah,
like, God damn it.
you can have me for this much of the movie, or you can pay me this much for this much of the movie.
Do you think one day he just woke up and he was like, yo, bitch, it's too cold. I'm going home.
Mout.
Blow me up.
Yeah, do a rewrite. Briggs rushes back to light it, but is attacked by the cannibals. He relights the fuse and sacrifices himself to blow a large gap in the bridge. On his way back, on his way back, Kai gets into a heated argument with Mason after learning that he intends to kill a colonist without testing her for the disease.
Mm-hmm.
And he does.
He straight
They're,
up just shoots her in cold blood.
yeah,
And also,
they're,
why is Kai not shooting Mason?
yeah. Their argument is interrupted when Kai spots a returning exhausted Sam and runs to him, but Mason promptly knocks her out. When Sam awakens, he finds Mason has taken over and plans to make harsh changes. Yeah, he's like, either you pitch in or you don't eat, and if you cough, I'm gonna shoot you.
Pretty much, literally, those are his rules. And he's like, "We're on half rations now, and if you're not useful, you don't eat." And you're just like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah. Sam explains that the cannibals are coming and that there is a thawed out area they should flee to. Actually, he goes into where is, and I guess he had the coordinates.
Yeah, he had the
Leland
coordinates.
gave them the coordinates, so
Yeah.
he looked for it.
But before that, it's when Mason is talking to him and he's still in the hospital bed and he's like, "No, there's these crazy cannibals. They're going to come. They killed everybody at the colony." And they're like, "You're hallucinating. Like you were out in the cold too long." And he's like, "No, but there's a place we can go. They fixed the thing. It's thawed." And he's like, "You're really crazy now. Fuck you." And he like handcuffs him to the bed.
Yes.
And then this little kid, Rowan, comes in and picks
pickpocket,
Mason's pocket and
which
grabs
they
the
did
key.
show at the beginning of the movie because he did it to Riggs.
Yes.
So it did set that up. And the one guy did say who his son died.
Yeah.
He did say like Sam has a lot of things, but he wouldn't lie about this. So they do watch the security cameras for a while, but nothing is coming.
Yes. No, they don't see anything, so they're like, "See, he was lying." And then that's when they're alerted that Sam has escaped.
Yeah. Mason does not believe him, thinking he has become unhinged by his ordeal and handcuffs him to the bed. Sam is able to get free and checks images from a functioning satellite to locate the thawed out zone. Then the cannibals arrive. Yeah. So the cannibals start trying to get through the hatch. This is just a diversion because they're going through the ventilation system. They've done this before. This isn't their first barbecue. They have.
Oh, Jesus. Really? Barbecue?
Well, that's what they're doing. They have the fires going. They're barbecuing.
Oh. Yeah, no, it's really great. And also, how shitty of a soldier was Mason?
Yeah.
Like, from wherever the sound was coming from, everybody turned that way. And I was like, "Have you never covered a space? Like, are you brand spanking new?" Anyways, it was I was every time everybody turned, I was like, "Why is everybody turning? Shouldn't somebody be watching your back?"
Yeah. It's called cover. Many of the colony's 7 inhabitants are killed, including Sam's friend Victor.
Oh, yeah. But Victor
John.
went down fighting.
Yep.
Victor was like, "Fuck that, I'm not running."
The survivors lock themselves in a room. Sam and Kai bang on the door, but Mason will not let them in. Yeah, Mason has me written all over it.
He really does, because Mason literally they're like 5 feet away.
Yeah, and I'd be like,
There
nope.
is no one
No one even behind them.
them.
Can't
And
take a
he's like,
chance.
"Nope, close the door." And then that one woman,
The
I
one
think
woman knocks him out.
Nara, she knocks him out because she's like,
opens the
"What the
door.
hell's wrong with you?"
Yeah, because
And
they
then
fight for a bit and banging on the door, and there's still no
Yeah.
one there.
there's still no one there. It would have been perfectly safe
Yeah.
to let them in and then close the door behind them. But Mason, the big
Oh, it's
scary cat
Briggs'
that he is.
daughter, Nara.
Oh, is it?
That's what it says
Oh.
here.
Nice.
They never said that in the movie.
I
so.
really like her. She was one of my because she didn't know how to handle that gun. She was having a moment, but she was like, "Nah, this is wrong. So I'm gonna knock you out with your own gun."
Briggs' daughter, Nara, Lisa Berry, knocks Mason down and lets them in. Sam opens a vent for an escape route. The wounded Mason stays behind, and when the cannibals break in, shoots a propane container. Yeah, that was cool how Sam gave him the gun, and then
Yep.
he aimed it back at Sam, and then Sam's like, "You're going to need every bullet that fucking thing."
Which is awesome. But also, here's another little factoid trivia tidbit for you. Lisa Berry, who plays Briggs' daughter in this movie, also has played Death on Supernatural.
Oh, has she?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, yeah. That she takes over from.
She takes over from
I'm trying
Julian
to remember the
Richings.
name of her because it's kind of Charlie or.
Well,
Anyways.
no, Charlie dies.
Oh.
R.I.P. Charlie. We're very sad.
No,
But
I'm trying to
somebody
remember the name of that death, that Reaper. The black
Oh,
lady that becomes the Reaper. That becomes Death.
crap, what was her name? No. Wait. It wasn't Charlie, but it was something like that. Man, this is gonna get on my nerves.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Hold on though, because she did a season of Slasher. What? Billy.
Billy, that's it.
That's it. So she played the Reaper Billy, but then when Death gets killed, there's a void. She steps into the void, gives herself a promotion. Now she's Death. So this movie has 2 actors who have played Death on Supernatural.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so anyways, they fight a little bit. Everybody escapes through the vent. Mason is ready to shoot Sam out of spite, I
He
guess.
does kind of redeem himself by shooting the propane canister.
Yeah, I mean he blows up a cup, but one of the crazy
I
cannibals
wouldn't have
makes it
done
into
that.
the
I would have been like,
You-
they went that way and then shot myself. Get him! Get him, you fucking cannibals!
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, if the end of the world ever happens,
Do
and you
not
come
let me
knocking on
into
my door, I
whatever
am not letting
bunker
you
you're
in.
I-
I'm a hide.
Yeah,
I'm a
if
hide.
anyone is listening or watching, yeah, if you see me coming, do not. I'm just telling you, don't let me in. Yeah, don't trust me. Even if I promise.
Yeah, no. Don't believe anything he says. He will get you killed.
Yeah. The wound, or I might turn into a cannibal. The wounded Mason
Gotcha.
stays behind, and when the cannibals break in, shoots a propane container, causing an explosion that kills presumably all but the leader. The cannibals' leader pursues and attacks Sam, but Sam is able to kill him. Yeah, it's a pretty good fight. I like the end.
Mhm.
He chops his head in half. That was pretty gory.
That's it's one of the goriest, and it's very effective, but it grosses me out every time so much when they cut through the mouth, like at the jaw. I'm just like, oh God, I can't. It's too much. It's really gross. But I like the fight. Like they
Yeah.
were going at it. He got Sam kind of got his ass kicked, and then he was kicking ass. And then he thought he had kicked the cannibal's ass, and then the cannibal like pops back up again, and he's like, God.
Yeah.
Then chops off half his head.
Then he, Kai, Nar, and a few others begin their journey to the thawed-out site with the precious seeds. Yeah, I didn't like the ending.
The ending was anticlimactic.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But yeah,
It was so funny because I said, I wrote a note where I was like, kind of want a sequel of them walking, like their journey.
yeah. Plus, they're just leaving, and it's like, okay, I know there are parts of it on fire. Go find a fucking jacket, dude. Everyone's leaving. They got
Right?
t-shirts on, and like, he's got 1 can of seeds.
No,
Go
he has a
get some
backpack.
more.
He has a backpack
He has a
filled.
backpack, but you could get
but-
some more. Go grab a
I'm also
rabbit
like, did
and
you
a chicken. I
grab?
saw a chicken.
There were chickens.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like this is
What are you
like
gonna
I
do, eat
understand you're in a
snow?
rush. And I understand you don't want to encounter the cannibals again. I get that. But you're going to show up with what? 4 cans of like pumpkin seeds?
Yeah, let's grow some pumpkins. They're gonna be like, what? You couldn't bring us some more seeds?
Didn't like nothing, lettuce, tomato. They were
Yeah.
harvesting tomato seeds. So I'm like,
Yeah,
you couldn't.
yeah. Get some.
Did you bring tomato seeds?
some cucumber?
Yeah.
Squash?
A
Yeah.
little bit of, give them some leafy
But a couple of
greens.
them only had like shirts on. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think it's around the corner where this 8 mile of
No, it is not. And
You
they
might
just
wanna
start
dress
walking.
for the weather.
I'm like,
Yeah,
with
I did not
nothing?
like this ending.
Yeah.
All right, and that is our movie, The Colony, 2013. What is your score?
My score is to stream it. Look, is it a great movie? No. Is it a good movie? Not particularly. Is it a fun movie? Yes, once it gets going. It's a little slow on the uptake, but I think it is that way for a reason. It gives you the background. It lets you know how everything works. It shows you who the players are so that when the action picks up and everybody's making their character choices, you're like, yeah, that suits them. Like, that's for sure what Mason would do. That's for sure what Briggs would do. And it makes sense. So I like the character development so that when stuff happens later on, it all fits. It makes sense. It's good. The action was good once it got really going. It was gory. There was a lot of body parts, a lot of blood, a lot of people getting shot in the head.
Yeah.
Like a lot. And I like that. So I'm always, when the gore looks good, I'm in. And the gore, for the most part, for something that's not that big of a movie, I was pretty impressed. I'm not going to lie. So yeah, I think it's a fun time. And I think if you can stream it for free, you should.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your
Yeah,
rating?
I agree. It was not a great movie, but it wasn't a horrible. It was very serviceable
Mhm.
across the board, other than the ending. The gore, the directing, they knew what they had, and that's what they used. They knew what they had to use, what they got, what their resources were, and even the cuts, the shots, the editing. It's a
Mhm.
very, and it was fun. It was a fun movie.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy it. I would stream it. This is a stream. I might watch it again. Not anytime soon, but down the road, if I see it on a streaming service that I have, I would probably watch it again. But I wouldn't pay money for it. But it's worth, if you see it and you haven't seen it, it's worth a stream. If you remember liking it, I wouldn't run out and buy this. I look for it to stream.
It's a light, entertaining
Yeah,
B movie, which has some interesting undertones of, climate change is real. Sometimes you can't find a quick fix for things when you screw things up. And also, please don't kill random people just because they get the sniffles,
yeah,
unless you're Jimmy.
yeah. Unless you're me. Here's our poll, which actually had the most people take part in it since Dante's Peak.
Amazing.
We had Buy It, Frozen Apocalypse, and Cannibals. Oh, for the love of God. 21%. Rent for some cannibalistic gore, 6%. Stream for okay action and gore, 62%. Skip it. Cannibals like this story sucks, 11%. So actually, the majority,
Agree with
62%,
us.
said stream. Yeah.
Look at that. We're all on the same page. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay, so what did the movie do right? What did the movie do wrong? What could have made it be a rental or a buy?
Honestly, a revision of the ending.
Yeah.
I want something a little more definitive. It just kind of felt like it stopped mid-page,
Yeah.
And also, even though I love the character development, I think we could have shortened that up a little bit. Like the slow start, I think could have been picked up a little bit. But what it did, I mean, like I said, the gore, the action, when it finally got started, it was great. I like the relationship between Briggs and Sam. They did the actual characters really well because when they made choices in the movie, they all made sense.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing that you were like, why would the character do that? It all made sense. So I think they did that really well.
Yeah, because I like the part where they're in the helicopter and Briggs, Laurence Fishburne, was talking about when everything was going to shit. Him and Mason were
Yep.
part of an army division that had people in I guess a stadium or something, and he was telling
Mhm.
how bad it went. And I liked how Sam was kind of saying that him and his parents went to this place. His dad left with a bunch of people, never returned. Him and
Yep.
his mom and a sister got lost in the snowstorm, and then he never found them again, and Briggs found them. Yeah, the character development was there, the gore was there, the action was, they did it. You could say $16 million worth of action. If you wanted more, you were going to need a lot more money. The ending really was like, what? Like, Jesus.
It was just, and we're gonna walk
Yeah,
with these seeds
yeah,
or with this. And you're just like, that doesn't feel very complete.
no, yeah. In order to get this to a rent it or even a buy it, you're going to need another 16 million. And a lot more, a lot less CGI, more practical. But again, like I said, if you were in renting a movie and sometimes you rent a couple and then you're like, oh, I'm going to rent one of those direct video ones. And most of the time it's like, fuck, that was a waste of $5. This one was like, but I wouldn't pay $5 for it. Stream it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very, very happy we did not need to rent this. It made me feel very secure in my choice.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for coming back to 2013. Not that long ago. Well, 9 years ago, 10 years
Um,
ago.
Try that again, my friend. We're in
12.
2025. It's 12 years ago.
Shit.
Yeah, I had to do that math. I literally had to do the math because I was like 2013. That wasn't very long ago. And
And
then
I'm
it was
like,
like
yeah, it is.
12 years. Oh shit.
Damn. Damn. Didn't seem that long ago.
I know.
And watching and going over The Colony with Laurence Fishburne and Bill Paxton, which wasn't horrible, wasn't fantastic, a definite stream it for both of us. And 60 some odd % of people that did the poll agreed with us. All right. Well, until the next movie we remember liking.
Congratulations. You just had one of your childhood movie memories vindicated. Or they just eviscerated it. I don't know. This is a generic one-size-fits-all type of ending to the podcast. So thank you for listening, and please join Anna and Jimmy next time for another episode of the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. If you dare to go back and watch that movie you remember liking,